Welcome back to another episode of Hawksology. Media Day just wrapped up, and I was given the opportunity to go and ask some questions, capture some of the sights and sounds, and now we have a ton of new information on what this year's Hawk Squad is going to look like. So today, let's recap Media Day and dig into some of the key points that were shared. We'll jump right in and go through some of the basic info and updates that we received. Kobe Bufkin and Mo Gay are back to full health and are training with the team after their injuries in Summer League. And according to Landry Fields, Seth Lundy and Onyeka Okongwu still have a bit to go before they'll be considered 100%. As far as health, Bogdan Bogdanovic is on a very impressive stretch right now. He played in the FIBA World Cup last summer. He played in 80 of the 83 total games, that being the regular season games and the play-in game, and then played this past summer in the Olympics. And now, as we're a couple years past Bogey's earlier injury concerns, he did mention at Media Day that he does prefer having high levels of competition during the offseason because it keeps him in rhythm. He's now going into this season healthy, so I asked him if there's anything specific that he's doing to help him maintain that level of freshness going into this season. Here's Bogey's response to that.
You know what helped me? I started to realize how good of the shooter I am, so I didn't have to spend so much time on the floor. And I spend more time in weightlifting room, getting stronger, building that type of different habits, to have the strength when I walk on the court. I really believe in that 10,000 reps. And now when I was younger, I didn't understand that. But when you do something 10,000 times, later on it's easier to pick up. So maybe when I was younger, when I was 25, I needed 4 or 5 weeks, maybe a month to catch up to my shooting form. Now I don't need maybe less than 2 weeks. So learning that is a process in a career, and that would help me stay off the court a little bit during the summertime and during the season, but be in a good shape and be in a good conditioning.
As we continue, Landry Fields, who was first at the press conference, shared that the team in these past couple of weeks has hosted off-season training activities. And it seems that all or almost all of the players on the Hawks roster have been back here in Atlanta and participating.
It's exciting to be back. It's good to be back. There's been a lot of energy in our gym with OTAs, and it's been fun to see guys all participate in that and show up and see how we've made some moves here, and I do believe we've made progress as it relates to our brand of basketball, which I speak out at length about. And for us, that's really what's most important. We have goals, we have long-term goals, but for us, what we can control are the everyday actions that make us who we are. Playing unselfish basketball, playing with the pass, making sure that we're connected out there. Those are very important to us. And this summer, this off season, and watching how guys have worked and seeing how hard our coaches have worked at it and their preparation for camp this week. Has me believe we've taken a step in that, but there's more work to do. We're not a finished product. We are a work in progress right now. And I'm really excited, though, about this group and looking forward to what this week holds, and we're ready to jump in. So
that was some of Landry Fields' reflection on the OTAs, and I should mention that a lot of the insight shared this year was on the character and the competitiveness of this year's group, which stood out significantly to both Landry Fields and Quinn Snyder. But as far as the on-court product, I was able to ask Coach Quinn Snyder about how the Hawks offense will adapt to complement some of the new roster additions, and here's the answer that Coach Snyder gave me.
Yeah, I think, adaptation offensively is both, individual players and putting them or trying to put them in positions where they can be most successful. And it's also a collective process. You mentioned a few principles. I think, there's an opportunity for us to play more with the pass. I think that has an impact on pace. The quickest way to get the ball across half court is to pass it across half court. That's not to say pushing it on the dribble isn't another way to do that. But we've seen, in a short period of time, not just willing passers, but good passers. And those things, have a way of connecting your team. And, it's not just versatility offensively, but it allows you to play in a way that is a little bit different than we played last year. I think that can be a real strength of this team.
So while he didn't give too many specifics, you'll see in the next playbook episode exactly what he means when he's talking about playing with the pass to increase pace. As for lineup specifics, there wasn't a ton of information shared, but I do want to show you guys this clip of Zachary Rieseshay. Here he's talking about playing with Trae, and I really can't tell if he said shooting guard or shooting guy. So take a listen, let me know what you think.
It's such a great passer, so for me, as a shooting guard, it's such a blessing to be able to play with him,
Here it is one more time.
For me, as a shooting guard,
So yeah, depending on that, we might see Zachary Rieseshay playing the two. It actually kind of makes sense in some scenarios where the Hawks want to play big. Think of a lineup of Trae, Rieseshay, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, and then Okongwu or Capella at the 5. You could even go bigger with Jalen Johnson at the 3 and then Okongwu and Capella filling the 4 and 5. But anyway, from the info we got from Media Day, once again, we can still only speculate this season's lineups. The only starters we can really be 100% certain about are Trae and Jalen Johnson. We'll continue next with the topic of leadership and really how Trae has evolved in that area, either because of the opportunities he's had this summer or because that's what's needed to take and grow this team to the next level. Last season, those leadership responsibilities were more spread out across the team. Of course, there was seemingly a backbone predicated on Quinn Snyder and Landry Fields' contributions, but from a player standpoint, it was something you were getting from both Trae and DeJounte Murray, who at the time were still getting used to playing with each other. Not to mention the Hawks had also brought in Wes Matthews and Patty Mills for that specific purpose as well. Anyway, with Wes Matthews, Patty Mills, and DeJounte Murray no longer on the squad and more young players coming in, it put Trae in a position to grow as a leader and potentially unite this team on a whole nother level. Based on the steps that in that direction that Trae took this offseason, I asked General Manager Landry Fields how confident he was that Trae had actually evolved to that next level of leadership, which he answers in this next clip.
I'm really thrilled with Trae this offseason and the steps that he has taken in his leadership and things that he's been working on, and the level of partnership that we have with him. And I'm excited for him. I think that this year for him is going to be one of his best, and I don't even mean that from a statistical standpoint. He's a fantastic player. The stats are going to be what they are because of who he is and the skill level that he has. But when I mean best, I mean exactly what you've identified and things that we've seen too, and things that we're more in partnership with now. And just making sure that, hey, this is the better players on this team. So it doesn't all come down to you. He understands it's a collective, and that's part of who we are as well, understanding that the whole is something that we're always focused on, but watching him take those steps and practice those, I couldn't be more thrilled for him. We're really excited. I'm really excited for him and how he's going to impact our group this year. We're looking forward to it.
So you can see the confidence and excitement of Landry Fields, and that seemed pretty universal throughout the team. Once again, leadership and Trae's role in that were brought up throughout the whole day. So if you do want to hear more on that, I'll have a separate leadership-centric segment on the channel, which will just be a small compilation of relevant clips from the press conference. But on that note, Trae did do a great job of taking opportunities to spend time both on and off the court with his Hawks teammates. I made sure to ask about that to Jalen Johnson and Garrison Matthews. Take a listen to Garrison first.
Anytime you can spend some time with teammates outside of the season, it's important, building chemistry and then, just hanging out with them. Obviously they're out in LA, and I try to come out there and hang out with them for a few days and play I think it's important in a chemistry.
And then here's Jalen Johnson, where in my question, I also specifically mentioned seeing him get reps as the ball handler in pick and roll scenarios in clips of those training sessions, and if that is something we're going to see more from him this season.
Yeah, it was fun having those guys out there. Trae was out there this summer too, but Garrison, Dom, Kobe, Mo, they were all out in LA at some point too. So it was good to have all those guys out there. But you don't want to read too much into pickup games. They pick up games. But yeah, handling the ball is something, that I've always been comfortable with. Pick and roll is just something, I'm working on. Not something I'm the best at yet, but just continuing and willing to grow my game in that aspect as well.
Next, it was fascinating to hear a bit more about the OTAs, or off-season training activities, and one thing in particular was just how fast the team was able to play, which you'll see in this next clip. It was something that stuck out to Kobe Bufkin.
One thing that I want to speak on is how fast we were able to play with the athletic pieces that we've added. Dyson, Zach can really get up and down the court at his tall 6'10". So yeah, I think we'll be able to play really fast this year.
It seems like this year's roster complements a fast pace much more than past year's rosters, which is not only a step in the right direction, it's a direction in general, and seemingly one that the Hawks are successfully going towards. Obviously, we're going to have to see what results it yields throughout the season, but here's Dyson Daniels on how this fast pace of play can complement the roster and vice versa.
Yeah, for me, I like playing fast. I think that's what helps me with my game. And when you look at our roster, we've got such athletic wings. We've got Trae, obviously a really fast point guard, who's willing to throw the ball ahead. We've got guys who can play above the rim. We've got shooters. So if we play fast, we keep the ball moving around, and we're going to be hard to stop. So I think that's what we have to do, coming into this year. Keep the ball off the floor. Try to move it forward with the pass. And then obviously, we got some guys at center like Flynn, Mo, O, like these guys who can play above the rim as well, coming off pick and roll and stuff. So we have a very versatile group. Like I said, we've got big wings. Jalen, he likes to play above the rim, but playing fast means that teams are, you got to get back in transition as well in defense. So we're going to have to work together with that. Make sure that I know they were a good offensive rebounding team last year, the Hawks were. So that's going to be important, but it's going to be important we have people back as well, because when you play fast, you get up the floor, it comes with a little bit more turnovers and stuff like that. So, but for me, I want to take the challenge of guarding the best player every night, just being out there, being that kind of that backbone for guys like Trae, being able to switch things, 1 through 4, defend bigger people, defend smaller guards. So just being everywhere on the floor. I got a big goal this year of making a first team all defense. So I'm going to try to go out there and make that happen.
Dyson Daniels too, and just the potential impact that he could make due to his size, his IQ, and all-around ability was something recognized repeatedly throughout the day. Dyson also shared his defensive process of meticulously scouting players prior to the matchups.
Yeah, I think everyone's different. You have smaller point guards who can shoot it. You have smaller point guards who are more get on the rim type people. And you come in with a scout of every game, what you want to take away from someone. And for me, I pride my game on my defense, and I scout everyone, my matchup who I'm going to be playing on before the game. I want to challenge the guard and the best player every night. But like I said, every player is different. Some people you want to take away their right hand, some people you want to take away their step back on right, and some people you want to keep out of the paint. So that's more of the guards, but forwards is about sometimes they'll try to take you down the post. So it's about finding their hips, getting under them, making sure they can't back you down. Like I said, everyone's different. You can't have to guard everyone a different way. So that's why I scout people before I play them.
The Hawks have long needed someone with his size on the wing who goes about defense with such a high level of detail, skill, and passion. And it's nice that the Hawks are going to get that from both him and Zachary Rizashea. Note, Rizashea is listed at 6'9", but I don't buy that after seeing him in person. He seems much taller than that. Lastly, in the middle of Media Day, the news came out about the passing of Atlanta Hawks and NBA legend Dikembe Mutombo. There's one thing I learned through Media Day, it's just how beloved he was by the many communities and people around the world that he blessed with his presence. So my prayers and condolences go out to his family and his friends. that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. We did hear from Dyson Daniels that he made changes to his jump shot working with Kyle Korver. So we'll probably do a jump shot breakdown once we get some film of his shot. But other than that, I do have a lot more Media Day stuff coming out very soon, including a lot more stuff with the players and working with Kyle Korver. And there's also some great film breakdowns I've halted on posting due to some stuff I got from Quinn Snyder at Media Day, as well as some special guests. So expect that all coming very, very soon. If you like this type of in-depth NBA content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, we'll catch you next time.